To this club that is owned by Hades, who is the god of...
Okay, hello everyone. It is day 2 of the Vampathon, and I didn't record any content for Monday because I was coming back from the trip yesterday and I was just really tired, so I ended up not recording anything yesterday. But I did start the audiobook for Sorcery of Thorns, and I'm liking it so far. I'm only up to about chapter 2, so I didn't really get a lot of reading in, and that's only because I fell asleep on the bus back to New York. But right now I'm gonna get some more reading in for Too Close to Breathe, because as you saw earlier, I was reading it at this appointment I went to. So I'm gonna continue getting some more pages in. I ended up finishing Fangs in one sitting because it's a graphic novel, so obviously that would be like an easy read. So now I just want to get farther in this book. It's a pretty quick read. Like, look at the font and the spacing. So I think I could get pretty far in this before I go to sleep, because it is 8:47, and as you saw, I was watching Jane the Virgin, well, rewatching Jane the Virgin, because I just love that show. It just really makes me feel something. So I'm like, to feel something, let me rewatch it. So I'm rewatching Jane the Virgin. But yeah, I'm really having a splitting headache right now, but I'm still gonna try to get some pages in because I still haven't finished my TBR for the month. So I want to get through the Vampathon TBR while finishing my actual TBR. So I'm gonna try to get in as much reading as possible. Yeah, y'all gonna watch me read? LOL. All right. Okay, it's only been like a page and a half that I've read so far, but to be honest, our main character, the cop, she's very insensitive, and she says a lot of like very disgusting jokes about suicide, because our victim that has killed herself hung herself. So just so you guys have a clear idea of what has happened, the suicide was attempted via cutting, and then it ended up being hanging. And as a detective on the case, and the lead detective, I don't know if this is her coping mechanism, because I've seen a duality in her, I don't know if this is her coping mechanism, but it's very gross and disgusting because just now she goes, so now that we've got the awkwardness out of the way, let's get to business, shall we? We have a suicide to tie up. Excuse the pun. Like, why would you say that? And then continues to have like inner dialogue and goes, I say genuinely not having meant to reference the hanging. Are you sure? Are you sure? I think that this is commentary on how if women within these type of like very masculine roles are to like become very serious about things, they will be taken as well, not taken, they would be said to be doing too much. Because I feel like in roles like a policeman, a detective, or like a government official or anything government based, a lot of women within those job roles get told they're being too serious about certain things. And so I think this may be this woman's coping mechanism, because she doesn't want to come off too serious, or you know, the typical things said about women within these job roles. But I don't know, that's just so disgusting to read about. It's making me cringe a lot, but hopefully my theory is right, because I just can't read another line like this or another sentence. Like, it's just so uncomfortable. I hope that I'm right with this theory, because then that would make it more bearable. But if our author is going for a very ruthless and disgusting detective, I hope there's a character that will be the opposite or slightly better, because I can't stand this detective right now. I'm so uncomfortable, especially as a person who has recently lost someone to suicide, and also who has experienced various losses and was also in a predicament similar to that before. I don't know, it's just not the easiest topic right now. So I don't know how I'm feeling right now, but I know that earlier this month, I lost a friend to suicide, so I'm feeling very queasy, and I don't know how it's just not sitting well with me. So if you want to pick up this book and you're hypersensitive to a topic like suicide, as far as I'm reading, it's not sensitive within the commentary, so be mindful of that. Just saying. Anyways, I'm gonna continue reading because yeah, I'm gonna soldier through this. Let's see if that's true. I hope that's what's going on, because right now I'm scared. I'm scared. Oh, how the turntables. So, it's not that our cop I don't know if that's true yet, but not only does my theory, like, have, like, a moment to be proven, like, let's see if it's proven, but another theory has now been, you know, put in the equation, and this cop possibly has had a situation where she had to escape a killer. So maybe her joking about situations like this is her way of coping with her trauma, which is absolutely insane, but it also introduces a new narrative, and I'm kind of interested in finding out more about this cop now, because yeah, it's still sad that that's how she deals with her trauma, but I'm trying to see something here, because that's still a human being. That's a victim, you know. You shouldn't make jokes even if you've been a victim. But if that's her way of, you know, coping, it's understandable. She's a human being, you know. There's just some things that, you know, yeah, it's still a little disgusting though. It's bothering me, but I'm gonna continue reading. day 3 of the Vampathon. I just wanted to do a quick little haul of all of the stuff that I got from Anime Inc. I got a good amount of stickers. I bought some pins, and yeah, it was just a really fun time. The artist that I worked with gave me a few like stuff in a goodie bag. So there's this beautiful sticker, this sticker, which is her logo. There's another form of it, which is a bigger one. Another one of these like cool mushroom ladies on this holographic background. Some really cool pieces from this artist. And yeah, and then following that, I picked up a few free stickers, and there's this really cool one right here. We got the classic anime eyes. Hello King. This one, me and my friends were laughing about this. We just really love this, and she picked up one and I picked up one immediately. I was just like, perfect. Gotta love a good Demon Slayer meme looking sticker. A few of these are artists like tags, just like the 2 ones I showed you before from the artist that I worked with. Some really cool pieces. Oh my gosh, the amount of mushroom queen like lady base pieces was insane. Absolutely loved seeing them. And then there was this really cool table with these roller skate stickers where there was these pretty ladies on roller skates. Yeah, another artist tag, another artist tag. Oh my gosh, this shop had ramen based candles and they smelled absolutely amazing, and they were $50, and I wanted to cop one, but I was a little concerned about money when it came to something else. So I was just like, you know what, maybe I'll try to find them online and see if they have it. One of the first booths I stopped at had this pretty like bat queen on skates. Love. And I love a good alien piece. Gotta have a good cyborg alien piece. Love that. There was a lot of stickers and prints that were heavily like, you know, I don't want to say blackified, but basically I was just vibing because I'm just like, listen, the representation is phenomenal, and I love seeing like people of my shade and darker just being represented in these stickers. I was vibing. And then I went to one table and there was this really cool like duo sticker collection. Love. And then finally there is this gorgeous sticker right here, again alien queens, and it's such a vibe. I got 3 pins from Natty Cat Pins, which is someone I have been following on Instagram for a very long time now, probably about 2 years. That's not very long, but to me that's a really good amount of time. And to see this person in person and see like all of their shop and be able to pick from everything, it's just so beautiful. Like, the booth was amazing. The energy was very much on brand, very cute, very wholesome. Like, I just really loved the vibe at that booth. But I got this Fat Gum pin, so cute. If you guys didn't know, I'm a huge Fat Gum stan. Love Fat Gum. That's one of my husband's, so I had to get this. And there was another one that was like this light crystally sparkly yellow, but I just wasn't vibing with it, so I went with this deep warm yellow instead. And then there is this little pot, this little what is this called again? Cauldron. God, I lost my mind for a second there. This little cauldron with the pink smoke and stuff bubbling out of it. So cute. I also got this heart pin display bag from Natty Cat Pins. I have been eyeing this online for so long, so I was so hyped when I finally had the opportunity to get my hands on it. And I decided to display one of the pins that I got from the shop which is these skulls with exposed brains. And then it has like this hanging chain, which is so cute. And then the artist I worked with gave me this pin, which is like these really cool mushrooms. And this bag is very spacious. There's even like, when you pull back the heart zipper section, there's a little bit of space in there too. And one of my favorite details is the hearts on the straps. So cute, so cute. From the artist that I worked with is a keychain. So cute. I also got this really cute Beetlejuice pin at one of the tables. I don't know what exactly this is. I think it's a metal sticker, but this one artist had this at their table. So cool, so cool, like really cool. I have this keychain, which is another artist tag. So yeah, that is all of the stuff that I got from Anime Inc. So yeah, now I have all of these like stickers and stuff to add to my collection of already growing stationery and pins and keychains. So yeah, the plans for today, well, the rest of today, because it is 1:31, is to start my reread of Horrid by Katrina Leno. I'm so excited for this. This is one of my favorite books this year so far. Definitely up there with The Inheritance of Orchidea Divina. I think that there aren't a lot of really good villain origin stories that I've read in my lifetime, which is not pretty long because I am a 2000s baby, so I've only been here for like 21 years, so, well, not yet, but soon to be. But this was actually very good, so I'm excited to just dive back into it and experience the essence of it all, because I just keep hyping this book up because I really, really, really love it. And I really hope a lot of other people like catch on and give it a try, because this is literally one of my favorites. I think the mentions of literature, the storytelling, the plot, everything about this journey, this crazy twisted journey, is literally insane, and I'm such a huge fan. Okay, and then I want to finish Too Close to Breathe, or at least get past the halfway point, because I read up to page 34 last night, and hopefully I can get closer to the end of this book by the end of today. It's definitely very interesting what's going on in this story, because as I told you guys yesterday, there was a lot of insensitive things being said by the detective about the victim in the case, and it was highly throwing me off. But now that I'm getting to know more about the detective, and I'm soldiering through, and I'm just allowing the story to, you know, take place, happen, be as it is, I'm starting to realize that this is a coping mechanism for the detective, and the detective is just joking about everything and being very rude and insensitive because she has her own trauma that she has to deal with and that she needs to, you know, come to terms with. And so in order to continue her job as a detective and, you know, just deal with what the victims are going through, which she has gone through for the most part with most victims, specifically this one, she's just making a lot of jokes. But I do see and understand why the detective is acting that way. I think that my issue with Olivia Kiernan right now, is there's a lot of big words. There's a lot of big paragraphs with big words in them. And half of the time, I'm not getting any explanation. See, not all of us are very well versed in the field that this detective is in. There's a lot of sciencey words, and not a lot of people are aware of what those things are. And instead of giving a brief description or an inner dialogue that breaks down what this means, it's brushed over and just continued. And there's no index in the back of the book to break down anything. There's no way to fully understand what's going on in certain sections that are very scientific. because the author didn't break that down. As I said, on Monday I started A Sorcery of Thorns. I haven't made any progress on that. We'll see if I get some progress made. We'll see. I did say I wanted to try to complete a few books on my TBR, so I'm gonna try to get farther in Six of Crows because I'm really enjoying that book right now. And I don't know if I'm gonna get to all the books on my TBR. I feel like throwing away my TBR altogether, but I don't want to give up hope yet. Not yet. Maybe we'll see tomorrow. We'll see. So now I'm gonna get to reading, but I do have to put up a few prints from Anime Ink. Oh yeah, I didn't show you guys those prints, but before I put them up, I'll just show you guys the 2 prints that I got from Anime Ink. So I'm gonna pick up Horrid now and start my reread. All right, bye. So it is day 5 of the readathon, and I literally said on day 3 that I was going to show you guys the prints from Anime Ink and put them up on my print wall. I have 2 new babies to add to the print wall, and I'm so excited. So I'm gonna shut up now and show you guys what they look like. So there's this really gorgeous siren slash, what's the name of that fish with the light in front of it that lures people to it? It's a really good mashup because those 2 things are predators within a sea full of prey, and I thought that was really gorgeous. Oh, even an eel. There's a combination of an eel. So I was just like, this is gorgeous. I'm definitely in love with it. It's very creepy, very gory, and it's such a moment. Okay. Let me step back then. Yeah, it's such a moment. Actually, so when my friend and I went to this booth, she couldn't purchase the Sailor Moon piece that she wanted because she didn't have cash. So a lot of the booths in the convention only took cash, and she didn't have any. And the day I was gonna pay for her to get the print, the artist that was behind the booth was just like, just take it. We were like, just take it. Like, we were ready to pay. Like, I was ready to drop a whole bag on 4 prints for the both of us, and the artist was just like, take it. And I was just like, oh my god. And I'm so excited to put this up. And then the second print that I got was this really cool, I guess you could say, goat piece. Okay, I'm gonna step back. Hold on. Here we go. So yeah, this really cool goat piece, and it's just, or is it a deer? I think it's a mixture of the 2. But it just gives like very like creepy horror woods aesthetic. I just really love the exposed cages on both of these, and even the wood detailing just says a lot. And I really love the butterflies. It's very aesthetically pleasing, very cute, but also has this very dark, very you know, just unsettling feeling about it, but it's just so aesthetically pleasing. You're drawn in, which is why I liked both, and I ended up picking up both. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking now and put them up. Okay, this is what it looks like at the moment with everything, but I think I'm gonna have to go in with some painter's tape or just some regular like tape because it's not holding. I guess my wall doesn't take washi tape, but yeah, it's just not holding, but everything looks gorgeous. I really love the additions now with the washi tape at the top. I think it just adds a little bit more. So this is not exactly a print wall, but it is, because these are prints of photos from BTS's album B. But there's also some photos of my friends and I, well, just my friend and I right now, but there's gonna be more photos of other friends. And then my queen, Glam Goth, love her. And also a painting. So it's not exactly a print wall, but it's a mixture of all these different things of prints of photos. Oh yeah, even I did, got those two of I did. But yeah, it's a mixture of printed photos and prints and also a painting. And these 3 prints and this one are all by me. I have a shop where I sell them, and my Instagram is down below. Well, my link tree or my beacons, I think, is down below, where you can go and check out my business, you know. Not me slightly plugging my business, but I mean, you are looking at my prints, and if anybody likes them, yeah, I have my business link down below. I'm gonna try to remember which artist did these 2 prints, because they're from the same artist. I think one of the prints has the tag on it. So once I find out who the artist is, I will drop that down below so you guys can go check it out, purchase some stuff maybe. Yeah. All right, now on to the books. So I did get farther in Horrid. I am currently at page 102. I'm definitely loving this reread. One thing I wish I did say when I reviewed it the first time was that this is just like a silly, goofy vibe kind of book. There's really not a lot of depth to it. I think that there is depth, but it's just not on the level of some of the books like Bunny or The Inheritance of Orchidea Divina, or I can't recall many, but yeah, it's just not on a lot of like other books levels. It's not that deep, but it definitely has some depth to it. There were even points in this book where I started to realize that the main character Jane's first few victims were not exactly human beings. They were books. And I was just like, okay, that's a little depth I didn't realize before. But the writing is light, and I don't think there's a lot of depth to it. But yeah, I wish I said that before, because I don't want to mislead people into thinking this is some really deep villain origin story with a haunted house plot. This is starting to become one of my most heavily tabbed books, because as I said, there's not a lot of depth, but there most definitely is some depth. And when you start to realize the hints that led up to the plot twist, which isn't most likely something that was just so rare, so unknown, but yeah, when you start to realize there were hints leading up to the plot twist, it just becomes a different kind of reread. I thought I would hate rereads because I remember everything about a book up until it starts to get erased from my mind. So it's kind of hard to do a reread for me. But even with all of the knowledge that I knew, there are still things that I missed when I first read it. So going back in and seeing all of the things I missed is definitely an enjoyable thing for me, because I started to realize that when she stopped holding on to a certain someone, she started to become even more horrid, which is absolutely insane. And it's just so like, it's like a slow burn of that too, which is very interesting, because the book overall is a slow burn, like horror piece where, oh yeah, it's a slow burn horror piece where we watch our character become even more like angry and anxious, and we see her try to be a good person, but the horrid pieces of her start to creep out, and she starts to become susceptible to the revenge that someone else seeks. It's just really good. So there's just so many very enjoyable things about this book. There's the fact that it takes place in a haunted house. There's the fact that it's our main character trying not to become the villain of her story. Our main character is in love with horror mystery books, and specifically Agatha Christie. And then also that there are slight mentions of other people within the book who want to believe in her, who want to push her to be better. But for some reason, she is susceptible to the revenge of someone who she doesn't know but is very close to her. And the haunted house, well, mansion vibe slightly reminds me of Bly Manor. I don't think it's on the level of Bly Manor. I think that Bly Manor has a lot more depth than this book. I think that Bly Manor is a little bit more detailed and a little bit more grotesque, while this book is just a very light YA horror piece. So yeah, just a disclaimer to try to clear up what I haven't before. This isn't that deep. If you want something light within the horror genre, or let's say you're getting into horror and you don't really love the gore and the creepiness of it that much, I think this is a light read for people who want to explore the genre but aren't fully, like, you know, in it. All right, I haven't made any progress with Too Close to Breathe. I'm still up to page 34. I'm just not feeling this book. I feel like DNFing it. I'm just not enjoying my time with it. I think that Olivia Kernan has something to say, but I'm just not open to hearing it right now. I did have my mom read this the first few weeks after we purchased it, and she wasn't feeling it either. And listen, I was like, my mom is not into thrillers, but she gave it a chance and she's not feeling it. And then me, who's into thrillers, now reading it and I'm just not into it. That there has to be something wrong with it. But I still want to push through because, as I said, I'm definitely interested in the cop and how her story unfolds, because I really want to know why she is the way she is. But I don't know if it's worth my time. So I'm kind of like, should I give it the time of the day or just throw it away altogether? So we'll see. And then recently I picked up The Ex-Hex by Aaron Sterling, and I am up to page 102, also just like Horrid. I started this book yesterday and I am enjoying it. I think it's a very quick read, a very light read. I think that this isn't a romance with a lot of depth in it. I think it's very fun. We follow our main character. Oh my gosh, how could I forget her name already? Vivian. Easy name too, and I keep forgetting it. So we follow our main character Vivian and her ex Rice as they navigate their relationship from 9 years ago. So we get a brief excerpt of just like how their relationship broke up, and then 9 years later we start to see them pick up where they left off. And before the 9 years later, Vivian and her friend Gwen, they hex him while drunk, and then 9 years later he comes back to do something official for his family, and basically he realizes that he's hexed and he ends up at her door. Within the hex, she demands that he doesn't come back, see her, that his sex life is horrible, and that his handsomeness is dull to anyone that looks upon him. I mean, those aren't the exact words, but that's a brief summary of what was said in the hex. She thought it was a light, like, little playful moment, but she ended up actually hexing him. And now I'm up to the part where they're gonna start navigating that, because this hex did something to his powers, and now that's affecting the town, and it just is, it's such a fun time. Like, I think that I'm going to like this. I think it's going to be a 3 or 4 star vibe, depending on how like the further content is going to be. I think it's just going to be a little fun, little goofy time. And then for A Sorcery of Thorns, I have made progress in that. I'm almost done with chapter 2. Really feeling that it's a little wordy at the moment, or maybe I'm just tired, but I'm still going to pick it up. So I'm excited to get deeper into that audiobook. Excited to finish some books today, hopefully Horrid and The Ex-Hex. But I'm also gonna pick up Six of Crows by Leah Bardugo because I really want to get some of my TBR done. I've decided to throw away my TBR. I am literally just done. My October was so busy that I had no time to literally get any reading done. I was just planning for a trip. I ended up going on a trip, you know, so there was a lot of things that went down this month, and I knew it was going to be busy, and I still made this long TBR, but now I'm just going to cut it off because I know I'm not going to finish these books within this month. So yeah, those are the plans for today. Oh, I also have some journaling to get done today. I need to do my November spread for my reading journal. I'm doing a Steven Universe theme. I love Steven Universe. Literally one of my childhood faves. So, okay, bye.
Burying her in a landslide of neglected transfer requests. Reluctantly.
Hello everyone, so it is the last day of Vampathon. So I'm just kind of sad I didn't get to a lot of books in time, but I'm also just like, I enjoyed my time and got through a good amount of books. All right, here's the quick breakdown. So I ended up DNFing Too Close to Breathe. I just wasn't feeling the vibes, and I'm sure there was a big story there. I'm sure there was something very like unique and interesting. I just wasn't in the mood to stick around and find out. And then I ended up finishing Horrid and the X-Hex, which I will go into detail later. And then I ended up starting A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and also Final Girls by Riley Sager. I didn't get pretty far in either of them, which I wish I did, but I just didn't. So yeah, you can already tell that I probably won't finish those today. It is Halloween. I'm so excited. I'm about to get into my look, do some TikToks, and then get some content together for my Instagram. But yeah, this is why I'm a little disappointed, because I won't be able to finish those two books. And I think I mentioned this already earlier in the vlog that I'm trying to do books I haven't finished that I would like to finish for November TBR. So yeah, those probably will have to be added to that list of books. For Sorcery of Thorns, I am up to chapter, I think 5. Yeah, I'm up to chapter 5. And I'm absolutely enjoying it. I think it's very interesting. Our main character just did something very heroic, or so she thinks, and it may be backlash for her. As you saw yesterday, I watched Gone Girl. Oh, love a good villain origin story. I love how it's just commentary on how women within marriages who are with narcissists, you know, deal with their issues. And she decided not to be a victim, and I love that for her. I mean, in a fiction world, it's always nice to see women retaliate, you know, in any way that they can. I absolutely enjoyed that. That was such a vibe. Such a vibe. And the funny thing is, her husband is a narcissist crazy man who's abusive. And he hurt her and created her villain origin story. And then when she came back 10 times worse, he was scared to the bone. Like, come on. What you thought? You was gonna punch her and she wasn't gonna punch back? Yeah, such a good movie. 10 out of 5 stars. For today, as I said, I'm going to be listening to A Sorcery of Thorn. Once I'm in full costume and I've done everything I want to do, I'm going to get to Final Girls. Hopefully, I started A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, got up to page 3, and I just wasn't really feeling it. I probably won't finish these books today, as I already said, so it's just trying to get deep into these books, hopefully enjoying them, just reading, having a good time. I don't want to force myself to like read anything and, you know, ruin my experience with a book. So yeah, I'm gonna start getting ready, so bye. Hello vlog, I'm back and I am dressed up as a zombie killer panda. I was inspired by Frankenweenie, one of my childhood faves, where the main character brings back his dog and his dog is a zombie, but I wanted to give it a little twist, and so I decided to go with the panda and make the panda a killer. I mean, in the movie it's very kid-friendly where the zombie dog doesn't kill or eat anything, but I decided that I wanted my panda look and the character I'm assuming to be one that eats things and kills things. So yeah, I'm gonna get into Final Girls by Riley Sager, and I'm just really excited for it. I think it's going to be something very interesting. So I did get some mail from Amazon for my books for next month, so let's do an unboxing. Okay, first we have Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert, and I have been dying to continue this companion book series, so I just had to get it. It's been sitting in my Amazon cart for a while now, so I'm very excited to get into this book and I hope I enjoy it. On to the big box. So the first thing, this is gorgeous. So the first thing I see is The Night Circus. Look at that foiling. But The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. And I have been dying to read this. Books with Chloe and Kate Literature have said this is one of the most magical books they have ever read, and I'm so excited for that. I recently had that experience with The Inheritance of Orchidea Divina, so I've been dying to find books within the same like feeling, if that makes sense. So I'm definitely excited to give this book a chance and hopefully I get the same feeling. And then one I'm particularly excited for and I have been looking forward to since I finished Bunny is All's Well by Mona Awad. I really wanted I think it's the UK cover where it's like this woman falling down and she's like in a chemise and she has these arrows through her. Yeah, I really wanted that cover, but instead I got like the mask. But still, it's really cool, and it was recommended in the Discord chat for Chloe's Discord. And then finally, I have Luna and the Lion. This is my first Mariana Zapata book. So excited. And this is the buddy read for next month on Chloe's Patreon. I'm so excited to get into this. Look how thick and big this book is. Oh my god. It's so big. So yeah, I'm gonna get into Final Girls and then I'll come back to you guys. The only exception, yeah, you are. Okay, it is a couple days later, after the readathon ended. I think 3 days later, yeah, because it's November 3rd. And time to wrap up the readathon, and I decided that I was going to wrap up October altogether. I'm disappointed in the amount of books that I finished for October, so I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna wrap it up in this vlog. Either way, I read 2 out of the like 6 books I had, and then some. Fangs by Sarah Anderson, 5 stars again, absolutely loved it. I thought that it was more enjoyable the second time reading it in October at that too. Like, the vibes was just there. Everything was amazing. I absolutely adore this graphic novel. And as I said, reading it in October, the vibes was just there and it just felt even more immaculate than before. And I really love them and how they just get each other without having to, you know, overdo it, overcompensate. And any issue that comes up, they're able to solve it together. And I love how simple and brief this is. It's the right amount of serotonin when you need it. And then, of course, I finished my reread of Horrid by Katrina Leno. Absolutely adore this book all over again. While reading it, I got the same feelings I did the first time, where I was like, okay, this might be a 3-star, but then again, it might be a 4. But then when I finished it, I was just like, see, this is why I should stick with my original rating, because I know it's a 5-star. I think it's a very slow burn horror piece, so that when you get to the end, it starts to pick up a little bit more, and everything starts to go a little more quick paced. And I actually enjoy that, because in the beginning you're getting to know all the characters and the world is developing, and it's a new world for our main character too. So it's like, while I'm discovering what she's discovering, it's an interesting experience. I think that because this is YA horror, it's absolutely not as astounding as a lot of horror pieces I have read that aren't YA, but it holds its own. But yeah, I think Katrina Leno did an amazing job. This is literally one of my favorite books. I think that eventually could change, but right now this sits on that shelf high up there. I think that this book is amazing. It's dark. It's commentary on itself, because the author uses literary pieces from Agatha Christie to comment on her characters and on herself as an author, and I just think that's so genius. I love when authors do that. Another book I read this month also has similar themes. So I did read The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling, and I finished it. Absolutely loved it. Gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was such a cute romance, and the setting was just witchy and everything right. I think that the magic representation and even the social commentary in this was so cute. It's such a fun read. I think that Erin Sterling definitely has a way of writing very lighthearted and fun pieces, and I'm only going based off of this book, but I really loved the lighthearted and fun vibes within this book. I also fell in love with a lot of characters, even the cat. I'm a cat person, so just vibing. And yeah, I just think that the predicament our characters ended up in was just the right predicament. I mean, hello, she hexed him. Like, that's so cool. And, well, sad for him, but I think it's cool. And yeah, it was a fun moment. And then now to wrap up my October reads, which is pretty minimal, which I'm kind of sad about, but hey. And the first book I finished was Bunny by Mona Awad. I believe I said that wrong the first time I introduced it in my TBR video, but it's Mona Awad, and oh, look how heavily annotated in pink this is. And this was my first read, and I had so many annotations. I thought that how do I even explain this? Because a lot of things art-based are left for interpretation, and this is one of those things. And there's just so many ways that you can conclude this book, but it will never be the right answer. There are so many things that are like blatantly explained, but when concluding and seeing what you can grasp from the book, I think that it's all left to be openly interpreted by the reader. And for me, as an artist, I definitely identified with all of the people within this book as of being forced to create and imagine and be original, and the toll that can take on you, and how manifestation couples with that, and how loneliness couples with that. And yeah, it's a lot of very important things discussed, and even how femininity couples with that, because as a Black woman, being an artist and being, getting into the industry and all of that stuff, those things come with a toll. And I think that Mona Wad definitely just addressed that very well. There's also a lot of other things discussed in here that I think are very important, but this is for the girls and the gays. This is definitely the feminine gaze, and love that. Gotta love that. Literally, I'm obsessed with the fact that Mona Wad had commentary on her writing, Sam's writing at the same time, which is absolutely insane. And I think that to be able to do that is something that's very special. And I saw that Katrina Leno and Mona Wad definitely had the ability to do that very easily. But I noticed that Mona Wad was able to do it twice on her character and on herself, while Katrina Leno was only able to do it on herself. Either way, they're both really cool for being able to do that. I feel like it's so genius. Like, I feel like it's very genius to be able to do that, to comment on your own writing and to include your character at the same time, and also the commentary on sexuality and society. I think I've already said that, but also on family and the aspects of that. Look how tiny this book is, and there are so many unique and very much necessary discussions within it. And I think if you're a woman and you're an artist and you create and you enjoy creating, I think this would be a definite book for that. I think this book comments on the aspects of femininity that couples with art. And yeah, I don't know if I said this already, but 5 out of 5 stars. Not even. Infinity out of 5. This is now one of my favorite books of all time. It sits very high on my list. I definitely cannot wait to reread this. There are some gory and horror elements, so fair warning of that. A lot of killing, so yeah, there are a lot of trigger warnings, so look that up before you get into this book. And now the last book that I've read for October is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I get it. 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 I am absolutely in love with Juden Carden. I'm sorry. To all the people who disagree, your opinion is valid. But for me, Juden Carden. I thought I would hate Carden because of all the commentary I've seen on Goodreads. But it just turns out he's another toxic fave. And you know what? Yeah. I gained another toxic fave last month with Punk 57. And now The Cruel Prince has introduced another one. And you know what? I'm here for it. Basically, we are in a fairy world after Jude and her sisters are captured and her parents are killed, and we see her and her sisters navigate this world that isn't set up for her and her twin sister, but her bigger sister is half fairy, so it's an easier world for her to navigate. But that's not the main point of this. We follow a very slow, very interesting, like, fantasy of just Jude being a badass girl boss, because love to see a girl boss winning. She's strong, but she's vulnerable. She has opinions, but she listens. She just gets it. And I love Jude. But yeah, we watch her try to become, I believe, a knight or something like that. And she ends up turning the tables. And power ends up in her hands. And then she helps her enemy gain power. So now her and Cardin are both looking through the same window. And they're seeing the same goals. And they're going to help each other achieve it. And I cannot wait to get to the next book. I get it. I get why this book is overly hyped, as it should be, because I love it. Gotta give it its credit where its credit is due, and 5 out of 5 stars is what it deserves. All right, that is all the books that I read for the month. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. I know it was hectic all around the place, a little weird, maybe a bunch of gaps in between, but I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog either way. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I have all my social media links down below, and I have a link to go to these various links that I have to support POC movements, Black Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, and then I also have links for the COVID crisis in India and Vietnam. I always leave the books down below that I've read or mentioned in this vlog, and the links to that. Yeah, if you made it this far, tell me what book you're currently reading. I really want to know. Like, I need some suggestions, so I'm just like, yeah. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.